Hi, Bruce.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm come from the opposition reply. What we're talking about, if we should control the media in showing the horrors about wars, and my opposition side always think that we should do it. We should not let the media show everything free on their own. Why? First, if we don't control anything, the government may be using it in the wrong ways. They can make the media show whatever they want to the society, and like mentioned by someone before me, the media can be used as terrorist tools to harm the people. And people, from watching the media, they will have the negative effect and may have a violent reaction toward the media. Like, let's talk about the cheering in the sports Olympics, something like that. If our favorite team lose, what do? We just get angry. Oh, why it's like this? Why it's like that? And same to the war things and terrorists. And this may lead to more and more conflicts. So, like Nick said, the government doesn't do anything to solve the conflict, to solve the wars. This may just increase the conflicts between people. And another thing is that people are not so stupid. They are smart enough to distinguish the things, what is wrong, what is right. And someday, eventually, they might find the truth behind it. Even the media is shown freely. How can they be sure that they are showing only the truth? They might get curious and look for the truth someday. And even we let the media show everything freely, whatever they want, how can we be sure that there's no corruption? Rich countries may just give the money to the media to show anything they want to show, and that's corruption. And how can we be sure that the whole thing we are being informed about are not just made up? You know, like the media go to this country, and this country has to gather its own people to show to the media that, oh, we are poor, we are pity, we are going to lose the war. How can we be sure that is the truth? Maybe God knows, Buddha knows. And we are sure that even we do not let the media show everything on its own, we are very confident about our rate of censorship. We only censor anything that are appropriate, that are not good enough to be shown on air. We don't just censor everything and just stupid censorship, you know, like you may be watching the cartoons on Channel 9. They blur up go boobs. Oh, I get turned on by watching the male boobs. But we are not like that, you know. We just censor the only things that are cool enough. Yeah. And the other thing is, how can you be sure that the media is neutral enough? There can be some bias. The people watching the news may have the bias in mind to the country they are cheering, like sport. Okay, so our opposition side will have the same point, that the whole point that we will not let the media show anything on its own. We are sure that our people, humanity, are smart enough, not just stupid, watching things and believe, oh, this is true, this is what the government have been trying to say the whole time. And hope you get some ideas about this. Thank you.
For the government reply, I just want to give 3 clarifications about this debate. And I will clarify, I will rebut the new arguments brought up by the opposition whip. I will address the new issue brought up by the reply, And then I'll do a comparison of two houses, the government house and the opposition house. On the first level, throughout this debate, we've heard a lot of things. My first clarification is, they talk about torture, concentration camp, rapes, terrorists, crime, GTA, more rape, gang rape, rape everywhere. And I just want to say that that's not war. It's not war. But even if that is, do you agree that war, that these images need to be shown as byproducts of war and reasons not to go to war? Throughout this debate, the opposition side has not told us how they're stopping war. And we have told you the effect that our images and our social media and our arguments will have from stopping war. Also, if you think about it, a lot of their arguments about newspaper, print, media, movies, it's not about social media, it's not about the internet, it's not about current things going on. Okay? On the second rebuttal, there's a multitude of arguments coming up, and I can group most of what the whip said. Basically, the whip is saying that either citizens are dumb, that they are prone to propaganda, and that the government, we as government are failing because we're limiting location. However, we like to point out that if citizens are dumb, and in our situation, what's basically happening is we promote the truth. We give them images that are real. And the current status quo gives images that are censored. Even in the reply, they admitted some of the images are censored. Some of these images are censored. The government, in the opposition argumentation, what we see happening is in their paradigm, they decide what to show the citizens. They decide what the citizens will see. They decide what images will be shown to the citizens. In our paradigm, we decide what the location is, but we never censor the images. They also brought up argumentation saying that in determining the location, there's a feasibility issue. However, we like to argue that they talked about how the media will try to go to different places, get different images, and promote to try to sell their network or sell their images to the people. But we also talk about social media and promotion of social media and the reality that the world needs to see. And in social media, there is no money. They talked about how the media needs to promote for news and people need more and more horrible images. But you know, I think the main actor that the opposition side has forgotten is the soldier himself. The soldier has his own dignity. The soldier has his own fight, and he has his own virtue. And people need to see this. They need to see what happens on the front line. They need to see what happens to people in war. And they need to realize that war is a terrible thing. And we need to promote peace and diplomacy. And if you think about this debate, on the most fundamental level, their house promotes censorship. Their house promotes feeding the citizens what they need to be seeing. And their house promotes that their citizens are not dumb. Under our house, we promote that you need to give people the right to choose. You need people to see what's going on in the war. They need to choose if war is a good thing or a bad thing. And we promote who solves the harm at the end of the day. At the end of the day, who is doing something about it? If you look at the current status quo, there's nothing going on that stops war. There's nothing stopping the war going on throughout the world. And the current paradigm continues on and on and on. So at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, who's doing a better job? And we feel that the government needs to show the full horror of war through media. Thank you.
That'd be really hard to judge.